Hi. Alright, this is, before I even start, this is a very time-consuming project. So, I want to warn you that this is probably not going to be a just kind of a sit down, get it done all at once type deal. It's going to take you a few days, if not, like a week. But it is very fun and I love making it. So it's well worth it. I've only made one and I am going to show you it. It's not good by any means. It's kind of embarrassing, honestly. But I still want to show you it because it was my first attempt, and I do want to show you that the first try is not going to be good. Second one is much, much, much better. I am very happy with this one. It still, has a lot of work to be done. It's not done, but I do like it a lot. The first one, it's not great. But there, I'll show you the first one. It's okay. Like, it's not awful for a first tail attempt, but it's not the best. But this is it. It's not as like fluffy as I wanted it to be. Like, you can see, like, it's not as fluffy as I wanted it to be, but it's still good. It's just not the best. So I'm okay with it. Like, it's okay. It's just not my favorite. Now, this one I'm still obviously working on, and it's my second attempt, and this one I'm happy with. But see how much more fluffy this one is? It's just so much better. What I learned from doing this guy is you have to add so much more yarn than you think. That's why that one's not as fluffy as this guy. You have to put on so much yarn. It's ridiculous. But anyway, now that I've, shown you my first one, that's I'm not that happy with, but it's okay. It was a first attempt, it's fine. The things you're gonna need for this, you're obviously gonna need scissors, and I brought them over here, so yay me. You're gonna need, I don't know what I got this from. I know it was from a craft kit of some sort, but it's one of those metal brushes. They use them for pets too. This is not a pet one. Again, it came from like a craft kit, like I think it was like a pom-pom one or something like that. I can't remember where it came from, but I have it, and this is what I've been using to brush it out. But you are going to need the metal one to get the yarn to brush out. You can't use like a plastic one or anything. You need metal. And also, I will warn you, your fingers are gonna get a little hurt. So, it's not painless. You're gonna need that. You're gonna need the yarn, obviously. This is what I've been using. It's from Walmart. And for the white one, I used about 3/4 of the ball of yarn. This is how much I have left. So, and I wound it into a ball because that's how I like to store my yarn. But yeah, you're gonna need to use a lot of it, so I recommend getting a big one, and it has to be acrylic, otherwise cotton, bamboo, wool, whatever. All the other types of yarns won't brush out. It has to be 100% acrylic, so, yeah, I fully recommend this stuff because it's working great for me. And also, the white one is harder for some reason brushed out. The black one is like super soft, and I don't know why. I mean, the white one's still soft. It might just be because I'm doing it better and it's got more fluff to it. So I don't know, it might be that. And then, oh, my crochet hook, where is that? I think it's in here. You're gonna need a crochet hook or something with a hook on the end, because you're gonna need to, if you've ever done a latch hook, that rug back there is a latch hook rug. So if you have a latch hook tool thingy, that'll work, or a crochet hook. I'm using a size 6. H is the letter. I don't know if you can see that. It's not focusing. It doesn't want to focus, but it's an H. size, so or a 6. So that's what size crochet hook I'm using. It's just the one I grabbed and it's working. And then you're gonna need, at least in my case, 2 separate like bins or bags or something like that. Yes, these are Halloween, but these are the ones I had laying around because I put my Halloween stuff out and these were still out. So this is what I keep my Halloween stuff in. But you're gonna need a bag. This is the one that I'm using for, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see, but all of the little yarn pieces that get tied onto the tail. These, see, they're little yarn pieces. They're like 4-ish inches. You don't want to cut these too long because you will end up wasting a bunch of yarn. It's gonna brush out to a point and break off. No matter how long or how short you cut it, it's gonna break off at the same point. So you need to figure out what that point is for your yarn that you got. It's gonna be different, obviously, for each ball of yarn in each color, I've noticed. But yeah, you need to figure out what it brushes out to so you don't waste too much yarn. This is my other bag. Again, it's a Halloween bag, but it's what I had with me. This bag is going to be for where you put all the scary. This is all fluff. It's from both tails, so it's a lot. And I will be using this as stuffing, so it's not going to waste. Don't worry, I'm keeping it. I'm gonna use it. But this is everything that gets brushed off of the tail. It is a lot, and it's frightening how much comes off. I wanted to try this a long time ago, but when I brushed out the yarn, so much came off. It scared me, and I didn't continue any further, but I was willing to try this time and try again, and I'm happy I did because, you know, I really like it, and it's a lot of fun. And I really love this one. Like, it is so soft. Yeah, so that's everything you need. Now, to get started with it, it's kind of difficult to show, but I will try. This is, you know, you can do it 2 ways. You can wrap it around your elbow and hold onto it between your fingers and just wrap like this. I don't know how many times around I did. I can count on the black one to let you know. But I wrapped it around my knee and my foot to make it longer. Let me count how many, like, wraps I did real quick on the black one, and I will be right back. I've got about 20 here, wraps, so a lot. But I've got about 20-ish. It's very hard to count this because of that. But you're gonna want to wrap it a bunch. I'll do it with the white because I'm gonna make another white one anyway. But I can't really show it because, again, I wrap it on the bottom of my foot, pull it up, and then wrap it around my knee like that. So again, it's hard to show, but that's how I got the length to work for me. So let me wrap this around a few dozen times and then cut it, and I will show you what to do on the next step. All right, my knee is all wrapped up. My foot, it's hard again to show. It's ridiculous as well, but you know what, if it works, it works. You can't really, you know, complain if it works. So it's still attached to my foot, but you see how I have all these loops right here? I'm gonna cut these all in half, and this is gonna be officially the bottom of the tail. So now, I spun you, sorry, come back here. You're on my desk chair, so you're all spinny. But this is the tail, so you wanna, what you're gonna braid. You wanna fold it in half, just like, you know, how it was. And at the top, you don't cut this end. Let me grab a... I also learned with the other one, this will do. I learned with the first one as well. You don't want to tie the top with the same color of yarn because it's going to get lost, and that's just not going to work. So just tie it somewhat close to the halfway point at the top, like that, so now it stays together. And that's the top. I don't know exactly how I'm going to, like, put a ring on it or something, but I imagine a key ring or something like that would work to, you know, tie it onto your belt or your pants, whatever you want to tie it onto, to keep it up. But now, once that's done, this is going to be like the core inside, whatever you want to call it, of the tail. And you want to take equal-ish. It doesn't have to be completely, you don't have to count out the spaces and the yarn pieces, all that fun stuff. You don't have to, just kind of equal-ish is fine. And braid it. I don't like to do a knot at the top because it just got lumpy. Again, I tried, it just got lumpy and it looked funky. So I unbraided the whole first one and redid it because of that. But yeah, just braid this kind of tightly, just so that, you know, it's kind of stiff, but you don't have to pull it like ultra tight. You know what I mean, hopefully. But yeah, just if you know how to braid, just do the braiding. It's easy. You take 3 sections and then fold them over each other. And I'm gonna do this real quick and then I'll show you what to do at the end. Once it's all braided up, you're gonna brush all of this out, so don't worry about it. I don't have a white piece cut, but you need to take the same color that you're using. Take it around the last little bit of where you braided and then tie it tight and double knot it, and then there you go. That's the bottom and then that's the top. This is a very short one because, you know, I am just showing you how to do it, how to do the braid part. So this is not the length that I'm going to get it. This one it ends down here. So it's much, much longer. It ends way down here. And this one, this is the end of this one. So I'll put it here to show you. It's much shorter. So I'm just, you know, I'm not going to actually use this one. I'm going to cut this one into yarn pieces for the next tail. So yes, I am going to unbraid this now. Best way to measure it is just add a few more inches than you actually want it to be. Wrapping it around your knee and foot just make it easier. The more stretched out you have your leg, the longer it's going to be. Also, the more yarn pieces you have when you're like braiding this, if you make it thicker, the shorter it's gonna be because it's gonna have more to go around, if that makes sense. So the braid's gonna be thicker. It'll be shorter in the end. Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, just things I found. And also the next step after you do the braiding, don't take it apart like I am doing. You're gonna want to cut, and you're gonna want to do this part to get all the little yarn bits for the brushing out. You're gonna want to cut them all before you are ready to put them on and start brushing and all that stuff, because it's gonna be annoying having to cut each one, you know, when you run out. Instead of cutting, like pulling off just one piece like this from the ball of yarn and then just kind of cutting it like that, it takes forever. I did the whole thing where I made the tail, cut a bunch, and then I just kind of cut it up here, how long I think I need the yarn pieces to be, and then cut a ton, whoop, not that one, and then I could just cut a ton at once, and then I did that all the way along the piece. I did it, I don't know, 5 or 6 times probably, I don't know. I don't really count things. I just kind of do as much as looks good. But yeah, again, you just take it however long looks good for you. You don't want it to be too short, otherwise you're not going to get your crochet hook to go through. You're going to need a little bit of length, but you don't want it, you know, too long either, because you're just going to be wasting a bunch of yarn. It's just going to break off at the same point. Again, I learned it on the first one. So that's that. All of these little pieces are cut. Now I have to untie this. Now all the little white pieces are cut. Keep spinning you. All the little white ones are cut and ready to go for when I do the white one after I finish the black one. So once you have all of those set, brush out you can, or you don't have to, but it's gonna be really hard to show because this thing is so fluffy. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to show you, but just believe me when I say the end of that braid is in there and it's been brushed out. It is there. I didn't cut it off. It's there. It's just brushed out. But you want to, where did my crochet hook go? There you are. You want to, it's gonna be very, very difficult to show because it's black. I'm sorry. Hopefully you can see it. But you want to find a piece of yarn, stick it through a few, and then this is just what's been working for me. I just grabbed 2 pieces. Any more, it was a pain and it wasn't working. Wrap it around the crochet hook like that and pull it through like that. There you go, you can kind of see. And then there's a little loop right here. And you pull all 4 of those little pieces through that loop so that it's tight. And that's going to be the first thing that you brush out. I'll show you another one here. Grab another piece. Alright, so here's the one I just put on. You do the same thing, and you want this to be so tight that you literally cannot see the braid. All you're gonna see is knots. So there's a little loop. Grab all 4, flip it, come back here. This chair might not be the best idea. You pull it through like that, and then you have a little knot, but you can see the little knot, kind of, sort of, right there. And that is not at all close enough to the last fluff, so stop spinning on me. So you gotta go again down here. And again, you want this really, really, really dense. Otherwise, it's just not gonna be fluffy enough. And wrap it around again. Pull it through so it's a loop. And find all 4 pieces. And pull them through the loop and pull it tight. But you gotta go, like, you're gonna need so much more than you think. Like, once you think you have it dense enough, it's not. Add another, I don't know, 3 or 4 more pieces of yarn to that place. Like, you seriously do not want to see the braid at all. All you want to see are these little knots from these yarn bits. You cannot see, otherwise it'll turn out. Again, it's not terrible. I'm not, like, saying it's an awful one, but it's just not dense enough. Like, you can see here, I probably could just go back in here. You can see here, there's the braid sticking through. Like, you can clearly see that there's the braid coming through there. That's something you don't want. Versus on this guy, if I can even get it separated enough, I don't think I can, but you cannot see the braid. All it is fluff on this entire thing. It's just fluff because it's so dense. You do not want to see the braid. You can kind of see here I have a few little knot guys on, but you can't see the braid through it. Like, it's only the knots and only the pieces of yarn. You want it that thick, so you're gonna need a lot of yarn. And, you know, because it was easy to get through that white one, I'm gonna just add what I cut to it and hope to salvage that one and hope for the best, because I do like it. It's just not thick enough, and if I'm able to get through it, you know, I might as well. But yeah, just loop it around. Sorry I didn't show that one at all, but I think you hopefully have gotten the gist of what to do. They are sticky together, so you're gonna have to, like, separate them when you want to grab them. That is kind of annoying, but it's worth it. This part is extremely time consuming. This is the one that takes up all the time. Getting it, because you have to be pulling it apart, looking for the braid. getting them all on there, all that fun stuff. It's time consuming, but it's a lot of fun. And I usually get bored with whatever I'm working on very, very quickly. So I just leave this. I could do all day because it's relaxing for some strange reason. It's very, very relaxing, and I don't know why, but I love doing it. But I'm gonna leave that there with the pudding on because I could do that all day. The next step after you get a bunch on, like a bunch, I swear you have to put on so many. It's just outrageous how many you have to put on. But once you have a bunch on, you can do the whole thing if you want to just add all the yarn before you start brushing it. You can put it all on, but I kind of jump back and forth. When I get bored of putting the things on, I'll brush it, and then I'll take a break fully, and then I'll put some more on, and then I'll brush it out, and that seems to be working for me. But after you get a bunch on, you can see, you just take this, and this is the absolute scariest part. You take it, and then you start like scraping away at the yarn, and it will get fluffy. And if you see a bunch of yarn fluffs floating around, that's because there are. Yeah, you brush it out, and it makes a super satisfying noise. I really like that. And I like to go upside down on it, just so that you can get the underside first. And then, after that's done, I flip it upside down and brush it down and get the other side of the yarn. Just so that way it's completely brushed out. Again, you don't want to leave, like this guy isn't brushed out yet, but he's in the fluff. You don't want to leave any yarn looking like yarn. Otherwise, it's going to be extremely noticeable in the fluff, and it's basically gonna look like your tail has some dreads going on or something. Yeah, just brush it out and be violent. You don't have to apply a lot of pressure, but you can, like, be violent, so, you know, have fun with that. And be careful of your other hand, because you're gonna catch it every so often, and it's not the pleasantest thing, you know. I'm making up words, but you know what I mean. It's not the most pleasant thing when you catch your finger and then it starts bleeding. It's not comfortable. Yeah, you just want to make sure that, like, you want to go sideways on it, get every last angle of that piece of yarn brushed all the way out. And as you are doing this, again, this is the scary part, you are going to lose a ton of yarn because you're brushing it out. I've already had to clean this out once since I've just been showing you this one little section. You don't want your brush to get super full of the fluff, otherwise it won't brush out. So check it fairly often, and once it does start to like feel like it's not catching anymore, check it definitely and empty it out. I left it full once because I didn't have this bag yet for the fluff, and I didn't have anywhere to put it, so I left it full and it wasn't brushing anything. So it didn't do anything. I was wasting my time basically just trying to keep brushing. So empty it out and make sure that it stays empty, and you'll hear the difference once it gets full as well. You'll definitely hear it because it won't be brushing. Yeah, just keep going like this and try to avoid your hand, or if you're doing this on a surface, I don't really recommend that because, well, I prefer doing it up, but this will probably scratch up whatever surface you're working on. So if you are doing it on a surface, make sure it's on one that you don't mind getting destroyed, because it will. It will get all scratched up. I can guarantee that, because I tried it at first on a surface, and one, it wasn't as comfortable for me, and two, it got scratched up, and I did it for like maybe 30 seconds. That's it. And yeah, it got scratched up easily. Thankfully, I don't care. That's just a beat up little lap desk thingy anyway for my laptop, so I don't really care. It has paint and stuff all over it anyway, so it was fine. But yeah, don't do it on anything that you don't want to get beat up, basically, is what I'm saying. But yeah, you can tell that I really enjoy this, and I'm sorry that this video is a little bit long, but I really just love doing this thing. I don't know why. It's just, like, super satisfying to me, and I absolutely love it. So, it's one of, like, yeah, I really like making these. Yeah, just keep brushing it out until you get to the top of the tail. You want to keep putting the yarn little ties all the way up to the top. Again, this one is not great. I need to add a lot more, so ignore that, please. Here, I'll add some more now. Like, you can see the... Come on now. You can see the braid here, like, really good. It's all hard and not fluffy. You want to go in and really add a ton. And this is the top. See, this is the little tie that I did to keep the braid together. You want to go in all the way to the top, all the way around, just like you were doing the entire way, just to make sure that it is covered and will be fluffy. So I am gonna work on this one some more and make it hopefully look a little bit better and more fluffy. It'll take a lot of time because I'm gonna be working with something that's already fluffy, so I have to find where to put the stuff, but I think it'll be worth it because then I'd be proud of this one and want to wear it. But yeah, just go all the way to the top and add as many as you possibly... I'm holding the wrong ones, and add as many as you possibly can to it, so that way you don't see any of the braid whatsoever. I also didn't brush this one out all the way, so you can tell that. You want to get it so, again, all of the yarn is completely brushed out all the way to the base of it. No more twists, nothing. You don't want to see anything. All you want to see is fluff. So it's a lot of work to do these things, but in my opinion, they're a lot of fun and well worth the time. Oh wait, one more thing. I haven't done it on the black one at all yet. That's why it's all, again, and I'm working on it, so it looks like a mess. Ooh, there's a really pretty crow outside. Cool. Happy fall, by the way, and happy Halloween. Like, you can really see right here how bad that is, and how much more I need to add. But at the bottom of this guy, you can see it's smoother. I flat ironed it versus up here where it's a mess. I haven't flat ironed, so you can see flat iron versus not. I am going to be flat ironing it all the way, but if you do that, be very careful because this is acrylic, so it will melt. Hard, like, barely brush over it. You can go over it a few times, but let it cool most of the way in between, otherwise you will melt the acrylic, and I don't want you to ruin your tail just because you wanted it to be flat and smooth and brushed out, all that stuff. Just be very careful if you do flat iron it. I don't want you to ruin it at the end just because you melted it, basically. So yeah, I can't stress it enough. Be careful, it will melt. And also be careful with your hands and stuff if you burn yourself. I do all the time, so I'm kind of immune to it at this point. But yeah, I hope this video, even though it was really long and I'm really chatty for some reason, I hope either of these guys, this one because of my mistakes, I'm gonna fix it and make it super fluffy, and you know, I'm just gonna work on this guy again because I really like it. I just need to make it more fluffy. I hope my mistakes and learnings have helped you figure out what to do, and this guy that I am working on has showed you how to get started and what to do. And don't be afraid of how much will get brushed off, because don't know what magic happens to it, but it gets super fluffy. I don't know how it works. But don't be afraid of brushing it out. You will lose a ton. Just use the fluff as stuffing or whatever. But yeah, I hope this was helpful for you. Again, I apologize that this was a long one, but I really just love making these things, and I wanted to help you the best I possibly could with the best instructions I could give. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye! Have fun making your tail.